Hi and welcome back to Bella's Magic Box. So today we're going to be making little mini cupcakes and Bella's going to be making mini little cupcakes. So let's start. But before we start, actually this is what you'll need. You'll need flour mixed with a little bit of vanilla essence. You'll need milk. You'll need 1 egg and 1 tablespoon of butter. So let's start. So let's put the flour in. Put the flour in, and then let's put the egg in. And then a tablespoon of butter.
Not much butter left.
It's okay. Whole tablespoon, so scrape the edges. So we like to use olive oil butter so that it's a little bit healthier. Okay, so that's a tablespoon of butter. Okay, you can actually scrape it off with the mixer, because you'll be putting in that later anyway. So scrape it off so we get all the butter. Yeah. Okay. And then last but not least, the milk. Just put the milk in and then mixing it. So this is the fun part. The fun part that Bella actually likes doing. So she likes to mix. So when you mix it a bit slowly first until everything is wet. And then you can mix it fast once everything is wet. Because if you mix it fast before everything is wet, what happens is it will go everywhere. All the powder, all the flour. Okay, so mix. You get the edges. Yeah, you get the edges and you mix it in. Okay, so sometimes it does get stuck in the whisk. If it does get stuck in the whisk, just tap the whisk out a little bit until it all comes out. So once you tap it all out, you can just mix again. And make sure that it's a nice consistency. So once it's a nice consistency and all mixed and smooth, lift it up. Yep, so it looks like that. So how it drops off the whisk. Yeah, so it's very smooth but still a little bit thick. So that should be done. Now tap the whisk so that all the batter is into the bowl. And then put the whisk in the bowl and let's start scooping in the batter into the molds. So you just take a little bit and put it into the molds. So tap it on the bottom of the mold so that it can come off the spoon, and then get a bit more, put a bit more in there. So usually it's supposed to be like one big full spoon, but because it will get stuck on the spoon, you probably need to do a few little ones so that it does fill up. But don't fill it up too much, because when you put it into the oven, it will actually rise, and when it rises, it actually goes way over the cupcake molds. Okay, so this is called movie magic, where everything is already now filled up. So we had a little bit left over, and we put it in little cupcake holders. And now we're going to be putting it into the oven. So get an adult to do this because this is dangerous. But we can put it onto the baking tray. Make sure you put baking paper underneath. and then you set it to 160 degrees if it's a fan oven, or 180 if not, and you leave it in there for 15 minutes. So we're just going to put this in and we'll see you back in 15 minutes. Okay, so while we're waiting for the cupcakes to bake, which is about 15 minutes because they're small mini ones, bigger ones take longer, we're going to be making the icing so we can prepare for it. So we've got a little bit of icing sugar here with pink food coloring that's been dried out to make it pink color, and we're going to be putting 3 tablespoons of butter. That's pretty easy to make icing sugar. It's just 3 tablespoons of butter and icing sugar. So that's 1, 2, and last one, 3. Okay, so once you've got your 3 tablespoons of butter, all you need to do is mix it in. So the way you mix it in, there's a way to mix it in. You just push the butter and icing sugar together and squish it down with the back of the spoon. So, yep, and then, yep, get it again inside, fold it, and then squish it in again. Fold it, squish it in. And you just keep doing that until you get a whipped consistency. Okay, so if you keep mixing in all that icing sugar and butter, it will become a thick, watery, sticky consistency like this. And that will show you that it's ready as an icing. And you can see that it's become a darker color as well. So it actually looks really nice. The color, it's a bit dark. And yeah, so that's the icing. And then you want to put it into a piping bag to help you pipe it a bit better. So I'll show you how you can do that. Okay, so once you have the icing a nice consistency, you want to scrape the edges of the bowl until it's all into one pile, and then you put it on cling wrap right in the middle of the cling wrap. Now the reason we put it on cling wrap is because we don't want to mess up the piping bag too much. You'll see what I mean later when you start piping out the icing onto the cupcakes. So we're just putting it all into the middle.
So you don't need that.
Okay, so now we have the icing in the middle of the cling wrap, and we need to wrap it up. So just put one side over, and then until it's really tight in the icing, the other side over, and then the sides until you have a blob like that. And then you want to get scissors and squish one side like this, pinch it, and then cut the end. Okay, so then you hold it and you pinch the end and cut it off. Cut it off. Yep, so just hold it, hold the end, and then hold the end.
This part?
Yes, and then cut it just like that. So you'll have a little opening, and that little opening is what you put inside the piping bag. So now the icing is inside the piping bag, and the reason we put it in now, you see, is because when we squeeze it, we want it to remain clean and the piping bag not too dirty. So now let's see the cupcakes, and they're done. They look so nice and puffy, still a bit hot, but nice and puffy.
Can I have one?
Later. But see, they're still a bit soft, so they're too soft to put icing on. We just have to wait till it cools down. So we'll wait about 10 minutes for it to cool down, and we'll put them on a plate to cool down.
Ready?
Okay, so we've had some that's cooled down, So the cupcakes look actually really nice and they smell really good. So I know you can't smell through the screen, but they're really good, aren't they, Bella? Okay, so Bella's going to ice some of them. So with the piping bag, just ice. Now when you ice them, just do it a bit slower so that you can still see the shape of the flower, and don't put too much on one.
That good?
Okay, yep, that's good. And then we do the next one. Yeah, maybe we should start on the outside, Bella. Okay. Yep, that's also very good. Very nice, Bella. So she's going to continue icing all of them. Last one. Okay, so we're up to the last one. And let's see. Bella's getting better with her icing. Oh, that's another nice one. Okay, so I have a few nice ones.
That one's the best.
Yeah, and she did a different pattern on this one. And then we have little flower icing sugar hard lollies. So what Bella can do is she can put some of that on top. So you just grab a few pieces and put them on top. You can just like grab them and sprinkle them. Grab a few to sprinkle on the actual cupcake.
It did. It's on a cupcake, Mom.
Okay. Okay. So these actually look really nice and they taste really good. They're like Poppy's hair from Trolls with the flowers to suit. So her hair is on top of the cupcake. So yeah, that's how you make the cupcakes, and when it's done, this is what it looks like. So very nice.
I like that one too.
Yeah, so we have really nice cupcakes. See, look at that. Isn't that so good to eat? They taste just as good too. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bella's Magic Box. Bye.